Hi, this is tutorial number 1 for session number 1 from my new beginners at home workout program. This program's ideal for people who are new to exercise or who haven't exercised for a really long time, for people who are pregnant like myself, for people who are overweight or obese, and people who have restricted movement due to injury or they're recovering from an operation or something like that. Okay. Day 1 on programme is a lower body focus, so it's mainly going to be concentrating on the legs and the bum and the calves, which are in the legs, but legs and bum. I'm going to talk you through each of the exercises that are on the programme, and I'm going to talk you through some variations for how to make them slightly more difficult or slightly easier if you're finding them a little bit too hard. Okay, so first thing we need to do is warm up. We like to start every warm up with a pulse raiser, which is just basically some light, gentle exercise that's going to get the heart rate up a little bit, get the blood flowing through to the limbs a little bit faster, just getting all the muscles and everything warmed up. There's a few options you'll see on the programme. It'll say you can skip, so if you've got a skipping rope and you're able to skip, then you can skip. You can jog on the spot, you can go for a little jog around the block if you like, but ideally you want to be moving for around 3 minutes. Now my chosen pulse raiser is I like to do step ups, so if you're doing these in the house you can do them on the bottom stair, or if you're doing them outside, I've brought myself a little step outside to do my step ups on, and all you're going to do is nice and steadily is just move for 3 minutes or so, just nice and gently, getting that heart rate up. As the minutes progress, so as you go from minute 1 to minute 2 you can speed it up a little bit, and as you go from minute 2 to minute 3, but the idea here is just to get a little bit looser and a little bit warmer. We're not looking for you to go mental and go flat out or anything. Okay, once you've done your 3-minute pulse raiser, we're just going to do some dynamic movements, just moving some of the limbs and just to again increase that blood flow and the range of motion in the joints. So first one is you're going to swing your legs back and forwards, just one at a time. If you need to hold on to a handrail, you can hold on to a banister or the back of a chair or something like that. You're going to do 10 backwards and forwards on each leg. And then you're also going to go side to side, so you can just go out and back together, or I like to swing mine across a little bit. Okay, you're going to do that 10 on each side. Again, just loosening off the joints and just getting a little bit of movement. Next we're going to bring it to the upper body, so you're just going to go 10 nice easy arm circles forwards and 10 nice easy arm circles backwards, and you're just going to go through that routine twice, and by the end of that you should just be feeling a little bit warmer and like you're ready to start your first exercise. Okay, the first exercise we've got on the programme is a Bulgarian split squat. So there's a couple of different variations you can use for this. I would personally normally use quite a high surface, and it involves having one foot up behind you, and you're going to use one leg to lower yourself down and squeeze back up. Okay, if that's too difficult you can use a smaller surface. Again, lower yourself down and stand back up, and if you can't get all the way down, just get as deep as you can. So if you've got bad knees, if you're carrying a lot of weight and it puts a lot of pressure on the knees, you might not be able to get very far down. Okay, just start where you can, and over time try to increase that range of motion, getting a little bit deeper. Another alternative, if your balance is poor, if your core strength's not that great and you can't keep yourself stable, is instead of doing a Bulgarian split squat, just doing a standard split squat, which is a split stance just on the floor, and you're taking the torso straight down and straight back up in a straight line. Okay, a couple of little errors that people tend to make on this one is when you've got your foot up on the surface, not having this leg far enough forward, so then you can't really dip anywhere. Another is lunging too much in a forward direction, so putting a lot of weight and pressure through the knee. So when you're in position, make sure you've got plenty of space between both legs and that you're just aiming to go straight down and straight back up. Okay, it's a brilliant exercise for your bum. Most people absolutely hate it, so you know we've thrown that straight in there first. So Bulgarian split squat. Now this is a superset. What we mean by superset is it's a number of exercises grouped together, and you have to complete the group of exercises in sequence. On your programme this will be labelled as a letter followed by a number. So it might say A1 Bulgarian split squats, A2 squats. That means exercise A is a combination of exercise 1 and exercise 2. If it's not a superset, it'll just say A, B, C, D, etc. Okay, so this one is a superset. So you're going to do 15 Bulgarian split squats on each leg. You're then going to move on to 10 jump squats. Okay, I'm going to show you the full range of movement, and then I'm going to show you a couple of options to scale it as well. So a jump squat, what you're looking for ideally is feet wider than your hips. If you're pregnant or carrying a lot of weight, you might even need to go a little bit wider just to allow that weight that's going to pull forwards. I found that my stance has gone a little bit wider since I've been pregnant. So you're going to go nice wide stance, and what you're looking for is to sit your bum down in between your ankles, getting as low as you can. So for me, my range of motion is pretty good because I've come from a weightlifting background. So if you see, my range of motion is all the way down and all the way back up again. Okay, that's a standard squat. On a jump squat, what we're looking for is as you drive up, you pop a little jump at the top and try and make that short and sharp and explosive. Now, if you haven't moved for a long time or you're carrying a lot of extra weight, your knees and your ankles might be a little bit sore and a bit niggly. So adding that jump in might not be ideal for you right now. So if you struggle with popping that jump at the top, just keep it to a standard air squat. So it's just squatting down and standing back up, back down and back up. Okay, if that's difficult and you can't sit without tipping forwards and your mobility is not allowing you to sit down, you can use a chair or a box. So I brought a chair here. So we call these box sits or chair sits, where you're just going to sit down and stand back up. And then over time, you can take that surface a little bit lower down. So I've got the stool here as well. So then you can go to a smaller surface for your squats. If it's a little bit easy for you and you're not really feeling it, if you do have any little kettlebells or dumbbells on your Bulgarian split squats, you can add them to your side, and that'll add a little bit more resistance to your workout. On your jump squats, if you're doing jumps, I wouldn't recommend really adding in any equipment, but if you're just doing normal air squats, you could potentially hold a dumbbell or a kettlebell just to add a little bit more weight and a bit more resistance to the movement. Okay, so that's superset number 1. It's 15 Bulgarian split squats on each leg, followed by 10 jump squats, and you're going to do that for 4 rounds. Okay, next exercise after that is we're going to go on to step ups. Now, we did step ups in the warm up, and it was a very, up and down, I'd say moderate pace. What we're looking for from step ups on a leg day is a more controlled, deliberate movement. So again, you can vary the height of the platform that you're using. I'm going to show you on a shallow one, and then I'll go up to a higher one. What you're looking for is placing your foot on top of the surface. You can use your stairs for this if you don't have a box or anything you can stand on, or you can use a bench, etc. If I'm doing these on the stairs, I tend to use a second stair up, so it just gives me a little bit more height to push off. But again, if you're a beginner or you struggle with extra weight and niggly joints and things, just start small, start low, build it up over time when your confidence increases. So you're going to place your foot on top of the surface. You're looking for your knee, ankle and your hip to all be in line with each other, and then you're just going to use one leg to drive up and to lower yourself back down. So not popping that second leg on top of the box. You're going to use this first leg to drive up and control yourself back down, and swapping sides when you get to the end of your rep range, and doing the same on the other leg. If you want to use a higher surface, you can do. It just makes it slightly tougher. You have to really squeeze your core to help you get the movement pattern. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 of this superset is a calf raise. Now, a normal calf raise is squeezing up onto your toes and back down. Ideally, if you've got a step, or you can do it on the bottom stair, you can actually let your heels just drop off a touch before you stand up straight onto your toes, and you'll get a little bit more extension and flexion through the ankle and through the calf. If you haven't, just do them on the floor, it's absolutely fine. We're going to do 10 with your toes pointing forwards. So you're just going to go toes forwards, squeezing up onto both toes, not both toes, all your toes. Then you're going to go 10 with your feet at an angle and pointed out, and it'll just target a slightly different part of the muscle group. So you're going to go 10 at that angle, and then you're going to go 10 on the inside. They don't have to be in that order. You can go in, normal, out if you like, whichever, as long as you do 30 in one go and you've got 10 in each position. So that's your second superset. You've got 20 of each of those, so 20 on each leg of your step ups, and then 20 and 30, sorry, on your calf raises. So it's 20 step ups, 30 calf raises, and you're going to do that again for 4 rounds. So you just take your time with it, go through it at your own pace. If you need to rest when you need to. Again, vary the difficulty level. If it's too easy, again, on both exercises you can use dumbbells or bottles of water or anything that can add a little bit of weight on either side, or a kettlebell or something on your step ups if you're wanting to add a little bit more resistance to the pushing up. Okay, so that's superset number 2. And then the finisher, it is going to take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes if you've got the time to do this last bit. If you haven't, just do less time on a couple of the exercises, and I'll explain that in a second. So this is 2 exercises but grouped as 3 exercises. It'll make more sense in a second. So you're going to go fast feet step ups on your bottom stair or on a little step or your doorstep or something like that. And by fast feet, this is more of a cardio exercise, so not what the step ups we were doing before where we were pushing through the muscle and using the actual muscle to perform the movement. This time we're just going for it, we're getting the heart rate up, we're getting into fat burning mode. So I'll show you the type of pace that I would use, because you're going to do this for 5 minutes. Okay, so set a little stopwatch, 5 minutes. Of fast feet step ups. If you can go faster, brilliant. If you've got to slow it down, slow it down. If you're carrying a lot of weight or you're really heavily pregnant, it might be quite laborious and you're just going to have to keep going up, keep going down. As long as you're getting that heart rate up and you're burning calories, that's all we're looking for. Once you've done your 5 minutes of step ups, you're then going to do 50 air squats. Now this, depending on how fit or how mobile you are, might take you a little while. We've been through squat tutorial already at the beginning. You can use a chair, you can use a step, you can just do air squats if you like, and it's just squatting down and standing back up, and you're going to do 50 of them. You might need to rest every 5 or every 10, etc. So you're going to do 5 minutes of step ups, 50 air squats, then you're going to do another 5 minutes of step ups. Okay, so quite leggy, getting the heart rate up a bit. If you can, you're going to do that 2 rounds through. Depending on what you like for time, you could do it 3 rounds through if you like. If you're short on time, instead of doing 5 minutes on your step ups, start with 2 minutes. Or if you're really unfit, start with 1 or 2 minutes, then your squats, and then 1 or 2 minutes again, and rest. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything from session 1. If you've got any questions, if you find any of the movements difficult and you need alternatives, just pop me a message. But good luck, I hope you enjoy it.